Hello, so this is going to be my tutorial for Crash Bandicoot 2 N-Tranced any %. The run you're about to see is going to be a spliced run made up of an evening of attempts. What those were just playing through the game with the correct masks that you'd see in the levels. The total time of the run came to a 25:37, and that will be the run I am commentating for you now and explaining and pausing and going frame by frame to explain what's going on. So the first thing we're going to explain here is the menu buffering. So you can see here, start the game with the A button, and then I immediately go to holding start on the controller. The reason for that is start will immediately dismiss this cutscene, and in this game you can buffer the inputs. So here, by holding down start before the cutscene appears, the cutscene will instantly dismiss. Now it's important that we went from A to start and not from holding down start to start the game to start, because you can't do the same input 2 times in a row. So we go from A to start in this case. So here, for the most part, I'm chaining slides for the first bit, and then from then on, I'm using slide spins. This is just a route I like to take, personally. I know that there are other routes you can take to do with jumping over things or sliding under things. I would just suggest looking at a few different runners, see what routes you like, and adapt to what you want to do from that. This game is very movement orientated, so getting used to how Crash moves is very important. So that's a big part where the routes change depending on people, is this nitro. Some people damage abuse through this nitro. I prefer to jump over and save the mask. Your decisions here will impact what you do in level 3. So here we're seeing this menu coming into action again, so you can see that as I'm walking along here, I'm holding A and right, and then as soon as I touch it, we go in. And entering this level, I'm holding down both B and start. Start to dismiss this cutscene that appears. And then as soon as it leaves, I release start, and then start holding down B. Holding down B is the fastest way to move during these levels. In these levels, you can either be on the ground holding B, or in the air, or in grass. Anything that's not on the ground is generally slow, and grass is extremely slow. Jumping isn't that slow, but you'll do want to avoid it. Here I'll be showing the route to do this level perfectly. So immediately once the level starts, hold left, and just stay on the left hand side, wait for the 2 boxes in the lane of Wampa, follow those to the right, and now hold right until you hear a seagull. Yeah, this bit of the level is pretty chill. We're just going to wait for the seagull, and then we're going to count the grass patches and ramps. So, grass patch, ramp, ramp, grass patch. And as soon as you see that second grass patch, head right in front of it. Activate the seagulls, head all the way over to the left, and now hug back to the right. So we're going to be collecting mask box here in a second. Look out for the grass. Curve to the left and collect the mask box. Head to the right to avoid the shark and the grass. Once the grass fades, clear the seagulls. Weave in between those, and finish the level. So this is Bear's Funhouse. One thing I'm going to show you guys here is the frogs. Frogs are a pain, but did you know, if you hold down A whilst going onto a frog, you will kill the frog. It will not hurt you. We can use that for an extra jump here to go and collect that mask. So this is where the change is. So if you damage abuse in the first level, you will not have third mask form here unless you grabbed an extra mask during the water level. This is important for a little bit of a later bit, so just keep an eye. So here it comes, is just going through this stack of 6 boxes. So much quicker with 3 masks. So it depends whether you want to take that trade-off with the nitro at the start. That falling block there, what state it's in, like where it is, depends on the cycle you got. Sometimes if you can get a good cycle, you can just jump right over it, sometimes you need to wait for it a bit. Just don't worry about it, just react. So here's the first Arabian level. You want to bounce on the checkpoint to go over, and then you want to go under here. I'm going to slow down this next bit. So here we're going to fall down, spin this scorpion, and then during the spin we're going to do a jump. Now because of the spin, we're not going to actually attach onto the hangrail. We're just going to hold right, and then it looks like we're going to get hurt by the scorpion, but we will bounce off it, and that is consistent. As long as you manage to get all the setup before that right. And this is a really fast way of traversing that. And then that just slides and spins. So this is the Atlas level. Well, again, they're just buffering the input to skip the cutscene. So here, relatively simple, just avoid walls, hold B, and you're good. Right here, the ledge there is not solid. So you can run just over the edge of that fence. You might want to pick up that checkpoint there if you're new. So you've got 2 options here. You can either take the shortcut, or you can go around to the left. Going around to the left isn't actually that slow. You only save like 5 seconds or so by doing this skip, so it's not that worth it. But once you're getting low times, then it's definitely always worth going for. This one's more about angle than speed, although speed is important. Nice to roll just forward in line with that, and you should be able to make it. Here also, you can roll along this ledge within the nitros, and that is a bit faster, but that's far more risky. Hold down to whatever you feel comfortable with. Here, just hold down. And there's not much else at this level, just go fast, avoid nitros. Usually good advice for this level. Along the edge, I like to hold the brake here, just to kind of correct my speed, but you can do what you want. Runaway rug. So there's 2 paths you can take during this level. You can either take this top path that I'm taking, or you can take the bottom path. Contrary to what you might expect, the bottom path really isn't that slow, as long as you can get a decent cycle for the carpets at the end. However, if you want to, I would suggest practicing the top route and doing the top route. The top route is faster, quite significantly. Let's break down what's happening here. So first thing we're doing, sliding through the checkpoint, jump onto it, jump onto the scorpion, still holding A. Keep holding right, and you'll should land on the TNT. Jump up to the scorpion, double jump, holding A, onto the bouncy box, then onto the scorpion, onto the carpet. Here, just slide double jumps. Nothing out of the normal. So, ideally you'll want to be keeping these masks, because we're about to collect a third and have another instance of using third mask form, and also we want these masks for the next level as well. So here we're going to go on this rail. Because of third mask form, we can just go through these boxes, nice and easy. So this jump here is a pain. I like to wait for the carpet a little second, and then do the jumps. So here, similar. You can just bounce on the scorpions over. Takes a bit of practice, but then when you learn where they are, that's fine. crunch, crunch, crunch. So you can go fast and crunch. Just know what the cycles look like. Just be able to shoot them quickly, and also hold right, because technically speaking it'll be the last hit that matters for that, but it is technically faster to be on the right hand side. Aside from that, just know where the nitros are, make sure he gets hit quickly. And make sure you're hitting him as soon as you can. So here's an instance where we can skip the first thing, but we can't skip the second thing because of the two buttons at once. So here we are using our two masks. Now you don't have to use your two masks here, you can just jump over the hazards. However, this is very fast and worth doing if you're confident in chaining your slides and you have the masks. So first thing we do when we start this level, go into super slide. And now here you can see what we're doing is chaining super slides. So you have a few frames. It's a pretty lenient window. It's just more or less a rhythm where you can super slide at the end of a super slide to just initiate straight into another super slide. So here we're not actually losing really any speed. Well, we're losing a little bit of speed, but not for long, maybe just a few frames. So you can use the iframes that you're getting from that first damage to go through that nitro as well. You'll only be able to get that if you've changed the super slides. Just doing a super slide, waiting and then doing another super slide, you won't get through that. Here, you can just bounce on that mask and then go up. So here, I'm going to explain a trick that we're going to see a few places throughout the run. And the more confident you get, the more places you can implement this. This is a buffered wall jump. So you can only do this with the super slides, so we haven't seen it in the run yet. The idea being that during a super slide, when going over a hole, you can actually jump when you attach this ledge here, as such. Now the way you do this is, when you super slide over a hole, Crash can jump during a super slide when on ground, but when you're sliding over a hole, Crash cannot jump. So when your Crash is in this state, start holding A, like you can see me doing on the controller, like start holding it now. And then as soon as you touch that wall, Crash will do a jump. That's just a small optimization there of cancelling this. So you can cancel the super slide with a spin. Damage your beast through there, and here I like to line it up with the that kind of like hatch on the ground there. So just as soon as you reach that super slide, and you'll make it over to there just fine. And then just go into another super slide, finish the level. This is barrel rolled. So this trick is a lot more to do with speed than it is angle. Oh, I didn't cut that out, never mind. Run was faster than a 25-30 cent. So yeah, there you go. So let's play that again, but in slow motion. So what are we doing from the start? So at the very start, we're holding down right. Here we're swapping straight to down left. And then just left. And I'm holding down the brake very slightly before I roll off. This one is very much more speed orientated than angle. However, your angle is still important. So here you can get some pretty nice cycles. But you don't need to go for these. For example, once you roll past that nitro, you can just hug this side of the wall. Coming over here. Once you get past these two, you can hug this side and you should dodge all of them. Getting that checkpoint is usually a good shout, but you don't need to if you're confident. Here we just take the shortcut, nothing out of regular. So climbing up ramps in this game is really tedious. what I find is a good method is slowing down, so holding the brake when you roll up, and then holding down boost when you get near the top. Okay, hop and coffins. This level sucks, I'm just gonna say it outright. So, starting off, jumping over this small pillar of boxes, super slide just at the edge here, so as you collect that Wampa. Breaking through those, doing a jump, doing the thing. As soon as you land and able to, another super slide, gets over the pit, avoids that frog. So this is another instance of a buffered wall jump. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it does save a little bit of time. Just when that raises slightly, holding again. So holding A around about here or so. Can't quite tell because it's pretty bright. I start holding there. Just holding up against that, and you should be able to start walking through. So you can see Crash kind of gets like stuck where he's landed, but he can't actually walk through. That means you're safe. So here there's a slide spin, a super slide through those boxes, and with a well-timed jump, you can miss that TNT. So from here, you can do a very short super slide followed by a jump. So here I'm only super sliding for about 2 frames, I think. Then a jump over, landing on this button to activate the thing. And then just a jump, landing on there, super slide, and a jump. Another buffered wall jump. This box here, this box is always a mask. So here, super slide from on top of those boxes, spinning to kill that mummy, jump over the hole, ask the first Wampa, super slide, with a jump at the end to collect the crystal, and damage abusing through the mummy to get a pretty fast time. Because we have the excess mask. Block full of seagulls. I'm not going to bother showing you guys this because I don't play this level particularly well anyway, so we'll just skip through this. Just same advice, stay on the ground as much as possible. It's a lot harder during those levels. Magma Mania. So you can spin off the ropes early, which is pretty nice. Here, almost as soon as we land on this, like, it's not going to go far. You can do a super slide. Might be worth lining it up with just like the edge of that texture there. And then you can make it over to these boxes. So there's a super slide here which is kind of unique. Because of this box's hitbox is kind of weird. So you'll see when we super slide, we kind of get like stuck. And that's because of this box. So that's why Crash kind of falls there. There we just do a super slide. So depending on when you slide under that box, you can either go on top and land on those top row boxes, or you can do it early and fall down and super slide, just whatever you want to do. Just don't bonk on that bouncy box and you're fine. So super slide from that checkpoint onto there. This is free, by the way, going past that nitro. Just hold right and you're fine. Very small time save, but it's worth going for. Here, just putting your corners. Slide at the end into the portal. Evil Coco. Did not cut that either. Okay. So Evil Coco, first bit, just head to the left and wait for her. Spin her as soon as possible. The hitbox is a lot smaller than it looks. I mean her damage box, sorry. there, you can just kind of hide over to the left. And the first time, she only goes right then left once. Every other phase, she'll do it twice. But you can just stay over to the left and dodge them. Okay, the first time, you can just stay on the left. And then when she comes back to go back to the right, you'll need to move out from the wall slightly as she fires a missile. But if you can get past that, you're fine. Cool, we have the rocket jump. We're going to use this exactly once, right here. A few people sometimes wonder why the rocket jump doesn't go off. You need to be neutral. There isn't, see here? No directions. If you hold down a direction, a rocket jump will not initiate. So one thing to keep in mind here is, depending on your masks, so I've got two masks here. There is a mask box there, and you do not want triple mask. You can technically do it with triple mask, like the following bit with triple mask, I'll explain why in a second. But triple mask here is worth avoiding in my opinion. Also, if you're playing the Japanese version or the Super Pack, watch out amongst these boxes in case you spin any of them, because you can soft lock. The reason I say exclusively Super Pack and Japanese version is because their box layout is slightly different. So here's Super Slide. So this is why you don't want to have three masks, because these boxes exist and you will just fall. Technically speaking, you can cut your Super Slide short here, Super Slide onto the carpet, but that's more hassle than it's worth. So there is a mask up there, usually not worth going for because there's a mask very soon. And by very soon, I mean like now. Just up there. Triple mask is just nice, it means these sections are a lot more relaxing. You don't need it though. Having two masks though, or well at least one mask, is very nice. The reason for that is a damage boost near the end. So here, we can just jump through one of these guys and not have to wait, which is pretty nice. Similarly here, not much going on. All I do is just kind of pick up a mask. Aside from that, it's just going fast. Nothing much to comment on there. Also, watch out, you can be eaten by the shark at the end. Just don't. Run from the sun! Okay, high key, these space levels are the difference between, like, going slow and going fast. Because there's a lot of time that can be saved on these levels, which people often don't realize. So yes, it is kind of just mashing B a lot of the time, but then it's also knowing where you can take hits and where you can't take hits. Because killing things is relatively slow. So you need to move the cursor over to them, and you need to shoot, and generally that means you're not boosting. So you do actually have a lot of health in this game. It doesn't seem like that at first, but you do. So I'd say just play through this level and see how much percent you finish with, and then just start taking more and more damage boosts throughout until you're at a point where you're comfortable. Also, always go for the boost gates. They're always worth going for, because the boost just lasts so long. Also, during the boost gate boost, you can shoot. So that is a good time to kill things if you need to. Okay, start this level, kill the seagull, not seagull, but you get the idea. Super slide onto the rope, bounce over. I don't like collecting that mask, some people do. It's whatever, your choice. So here, there's a small optimization where you can either, normally what you do is you duck under this nitro, you ride the platform across and then jump. What you can alternatively do is when you land, you can do a super slide into a buffered wall jump. So there, and then landing like that, which is really nice. You can jump on top of this bird and jump all the way up, but it's really tight, and if you fail it, it's incredibly slow. In my opinion, it's not that worth going for. It saves you like 2 seconds. Falling off the rope early there by spinning, and landing immediately on the helicopter box. And then just kind of chilling. When you're starting off, leaving this level with 2 masks is very helpful for the next level. It gets to a point where you don't actually need invincibility in the next level when you're confident with your damage abuses. But personally, I like going in with 2 masks. So it all comes down to whatever you feel comfortable with for the next level. So super slides off there, spins off early, spins off early. Watch out, you can slide under the crystal, so make sure to collect it. And you're good, into Slip and Slide and Sphinx. So here, there's a mask. We're going to be invincible throughout all this level. At least that's what I like to do. Super sliding on oil is extremely fast, so try to do that whenever you can. Oh, that that box that we didn't look at, that box there is always a mask. But there's also another mask like immediately after, so don't worry if you don't get it. Buffered wall jump, there's a mask. And that'll take us all the way to the end of the level. Be careful around this guy, he can just body you. So, you've got 2 options here. You can either jump over the button, and the platforms will be in 2 spaces which are just easy to jump to. Or you can do a short jump there, into a short jump, into the portal. Okay, Fake Crash. Fake Crash is the fastest boss by far. Starting off this level, just instantly hold left, hold down, hold right when you're falling, hold left when you've passed there. You'll land on the spikes, take damage. Immediately, once your side of the spikes are going down, fall down, you'll land on the spikes, take damage. Then you can actually spin to get past him. So with a spin, you can trade places. He'll be on your side where the spike was, it'll just be coming up. Jump up onto those spikes, and you're good. Now you have the tornado spin, you'll see that like twice. Rocks can roll, so time to explain how cycles work in this game. So cycles load when you approach them. So during this, right now, the cycles in this level are currently frozen. However, as soon as you see a cyclope happening for the first time, it will start happening forever. So if you die, the cycles are not going to be what you're used to. So this is a case where going slow or dying means that this level will not look like what you think this level is supposed to look like in terms of its cycles. So this level specifically is one worth practicing a lot. Same goes for the barrels in the previous level, but that is not as impactful as the laser gates on this. All of the laser gates in this level start disabled. So as long as you're fast and consistently fast, you'll never have to worry about them. So there we can just roll past them. Video player is lagging slightly. So here, we're going to roll past these again. I would recommend picking up this checkpoint, because the next bit is, I would argue, one of the hardest tricks 90%, which is getting past these set of lasers. So just watch out for those barrels. Learning that cycle is very important. Don't take it at that wide. You don't need to take this corner this wide. You can take this corner much tighter. The idea being that if you did that fast enough, then you'll be able to get past all 3 of these lasers. I say fast enough. The reason you want to go through here fast is because by the time you get to here, the lasers will have spawned in. So if you're waiting on this last barrel, the laser cycle has already started. You really can't be waiting on that last one. Man, this video player is struggling. So, another instance, going past lasers fast. If you die, I would honestly recommend taking the top route here so you don't need to wait on the lasers. Alright, just learn to read the barrels, I guess. So going past here, minor shortcut, you can just go all the way up to the right, or you can take a route around that nitro there and falling down, but you can just roll off here, as such. Watch out for your speed, don't go too fast, don't go too slow, but you can make that. Man, what is happening with this video editor? Whatever, I guess we're playing this without sound now. So, eruption, disruption. Eruption, disruption. So when you get to here, you can do a buffered wall jump if you so wish. It does save you a good bit of time. Here is one of the more fancy tricks. When you get onto here, double jump onto that box, double jump onto that box, and tornado spin over the hole. Tornado spin off that box to avoid the bonus round, and you're good. Having two masks here is nice. You're going to be doing a damage abuse anyway, so having third mask just means you don't lose a mask by doing this, which is really nice. So, because these cycles are based on when you approach them, and we're going through this section faster, because normally you'd need to wait for each and every one, by either damage abusing through the first one or being invincible through the first one, you don't need to worry about it. Also, watch out for this bonus, this portal. You'll see that it is slightly raised. It's a few pixels off the ground. So if you're just walking, you'll walk right past it. You won't actually finish the level. Rock the Ksaba, this level sucks. It's a real barrier when starting out. Start of it's pretty simple. Slide past those guys. So here, I like to wait for a second for the scorpion to lower, jump off, spin, and then do a jump on top of that guy. From there, some people do a super slide onto that frozen box, I just do a double jump. And then, when you do a super slide from here, the carpet will always be towards you as long as you weren't slow. Third mask from here just to make it pretty free. Not much else to do here, just gonna skip forward slightly. Okay, time for the final bit of the level. Tornado spin over. You can either jump on the dudes or not. You don't need to worry about those flames. Unless you're going fast, you'll always get past them. Onto the carpet, you can either jump onto the hangrail and spin the scorpion, or you can do like here, you can super slide onto that, do a jump up and jump across. So spaced out, spaced out. So this is more of the same of going fast is very important. Learning to kite is very important as well. By kiting, I'm referring to these small spiked ball enemies. For those, they will home in on you, but you can dodge them if you do a quick movement just before they hit you. I'm going to try and play this again and hopefully it's not going to break. So here's an instance where kiting can be pretty important, or you can just damage abuse if you want. Picking up checkpoints is also really nice, because dying in this level is incredibly slow. This level is, I think, 2.5 minutes long, maybe 3. I can't quite remember the top of my head, but it is very long, and checkpoints are important if you're at the point where you're still taking a lot of damage whilst playing. In this level I'm much more cautious with my damages. There's a lot that can go wrong. These fireballs that come in from the side can deal about like 25%, I think. And I think the nitro is also like 25 or 30%. Yeah, each of these spike ball enemies is 10%, but usually they come at you in groups of like 3. When you see these 4 boxes with the nitro in the middle, you've finished the level. Congratulations. Okay, just one more level and then you are done. King 2 Uncommon. During this level, we're going to take the bottom route here. The bottom route is just faster. However, you need to remember to pick up the crystal, because the crystal's not actually along the path that we're supposed to be going. So you have a few options for killing that shield guy. You can slide under him. If you don't enjoy sliding under him, you can body slam. But just make sure you're actually landing on the platform. So here is a optimization. Doing a super slide, jumping near the end, and spinning to break the mask box and all those nitros. And then once you're done here, make sure not to break any of the boxes above you, because we're needing to use those to jump up, plate the crystal, damage erase through these guys, pick up that mask for safety, and into the portal, and into the final boss for this category, N-Tranced. Skipping the cutscene. This bit is pretty chill. It takes a little bit to learn where the clock gun thing is going, but once you get used to it, you can really just control where it goes. So that's just worth spending time playing around with, learning how it works. Final hit, stand in the corner. Don't run in the corner, Crush's hitbox is slightly bigger when he's running. So just stand still. Spin when he fires. Final phase. So hit him into lava. If he's off screen, he won't move, so just keep an eye on him whilst he's down there. Here, my movements are pretty standardized for when I'm doing this. So holding down, spinning. It might take a second to register, so you might want to delay it slightly. Going down right, down left, and spinning him into the lava pool. And just kind of doing that 4 times. So we can fire 2 things there. One duplicates Crash and one inverts your controls. It's just getting used to them. So when you're learning this fight, N-Tranced will sometimes fire these discs. You will always be safe being on a side parallel to where he is. Or well, being on the same side he is. So when he's on the left firing bullets, you're always going to be safe either above or below him on the left-hand side. When he's on the top firing down, you'll be safe on his left or right. When he's on the right, you'll be safe above, below, etc, etc. And final hit, and time is now. And that is Crash Bandicoot 2 N-Tranced. Hopefully this should answer any questions you have. And I look forward to seeing runs. So feel free to contact me regarding any further questions. If there's anything which I didn't explain here or you feel could be explained more, just tell me and I will amend this or make a new one or something to that extent. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and have fun playing N-Tranced.